Hark, it's official. There is a release date set for 12.1 and Fiat Gateways cometh. Hi, I'm Amanda B. Johnson, and you are watching Dash Detailed. Let's start with this week's Dash in the News. In an offbeat CoinDesk piece written by Frederick Rees, Dash got what is potentially its first mention at the publication. It's titled Not Just Bitcoin, the top 7 cryptocurrencies all gained in 2016. And it mentions as Dash's primary capability, coin mixing. Outside of cryptoland, the Phoenix, Arizona local radio station KJazz published a piece entitled Bitcoin? How about Dash, Phoenix's rising cryptocurrency? Author Naomi Gingold sought comment from Dash's Ryan Taylor, who lives in Phoenix, about Dash's superior governance system as opposed to Bitcoin. Now moving on to development updates. Dash's lead developer, Evan Duffield, has published an update on the much-awaited release of 12.1, as well as developments in evolution. The update sets the 12.1 launch date for February 5th, and payments will be turned off for masternodes still running 12.0 at that time. The update also gives details on the coding of Sentinel, which is a new feature within Dash Core that acts as a decentralized programmable database, as well as updates on the core, front-end, and back-end development of Evolution. In other development updates, I have been sent this exclusive preview of Dashous, which is the forthcoming Dash-only version of localbitcoins.com. You'll see here that future users of Dashous.com can enter the city where they're interested in buying or selling Dash, and then view the reputation score, preferred meeting location, and precise price in US dollars over or under the Dash spot price. Founder and developer of the site, Brett Clanton, who you may recall was funded by Dash's treasury to build Dashous, tells me that he is set to launch on January 15th, but that there may be a soft launch prior to that. If you'd like to be notified of the soft launch if and when it happens, or if you just have questions for Brett, he can be reached at brett@dashous.com. Now to price movement. The Dash to USD price at time of recording is $15.75. This is a whopping 57% increase over the price of just 7 days ago, which was then $10. This makes for a current market cap of $110 million, a 24-hour trade volume of $4.7 million, and the total supply of Dash recently ticked up across the 7 million Dash mark. Happy 7 millionth coin, everyone. Moving on to business news. The integration of Dash into the fiat exchange service Wall of Coins has just entered its third and final month of development. Project manager Ryan Taylor, aka Baby Giraffe, has this to say about the development. Wall of Coins internally kicked off the project the week of November 7th. John Kindell, our integrations lead, and I held a Q&A session with them on November 10th to answer all their technical questions. We had some homework coming out of that session and got all remaining questions answered by the 18th. Wall of Coins started with all the back-end functionality, but had a working demo of the API which we reviewed the week of December 12th before we released the full balance of the second payment. Going forward, we have a set of milestones relating to the user interface before the next payment release and are in the process of scheduling that demo. The project remains on time and on budget. And regarding the release of Dash's integration into Wall of Coins services, Taylor said we can expect early February. In other business news, the Canadian-based hemp products distributor called HempE is now accepting Dash as payment. Found on the web at hempe.ca, the Canadian distributor offers hemp-based products in the food, health, and beauty categories. And finally, in business news, the US-based Bitcoin and Ethereum exchange Coinbase has released a survey asking which of these currencies here users would like them to add this year. The link to this survey, as well as all links in today's show, can of course be found in the description. And in social happenings, longtime Dash community member and contributor Eric Sammons has published a piece on Medium entitled Review of the Dash Budget System, the First Blockchain-Based Decentralized Governance System. In it, Salmons reviews the most popular proposals, the highest funded proposals, surveys the diversity of submitters, and rejected proposals. Salmons finishes the article by identifying weaknesses within the Dash budget system, as well as a conclusion for how things are likely set to happen going forward. Next in social happenings, you may have noticed that there has been a bit of a surge in attendance in both the Dash Nation Slack as well as the Dash Pay subreddit. The Dash Nation Slack clocked in recently with a new high in the low 400s member count, and the Dash Pay subreddit is now seeing in the high 20s and even low 30s, which is far and away the most people who have ever hung out in our subreddit before. And finally, in social happenings, longtime community member Tao of Satoshi has released a video in which he makes comment on statements recently made by Bitcoin Jesus Roger Ver about his frustrations with various problems within Bitcoin and how, not surprise or surprise, depending on how you view things, Dash has solved nearly all of those. And next, network statistics. This morning, at roughly 5 a.m. Universal Coordinated Time, Dash's most recent super block took place, which means that Treasury proposals which were approved to be funded were funded at that time. This sets us up for another roughly month-long Treasury cycle of new proposals and new voting. Today's masternode count is 4,232, which is up 11 masternodes from 7 days ago, and there are an additional roughly 550 non-masternode full nodes running, making for a grand total of 4,781 full nodes on the network. And in mining, today's hash rate is 1.77 terahashes, which is down slightly from a recent all-time high that was reached on New Year's Day of 1.86 terahashes. And finally, in current opportunities, longtime Dash community member Fible1, or as he's also known, Pablo, is seeking a Python developer to assist him in showing some love to Electrum Dash. Pablo reports that Electrum Dash is often buggy and that he would like to put in a proposal once he's found the proper Python developer to receive funding to show it some maintenance. And as a little side note, if Electrum Dash has been acting funny for you as well, and you've been attempting to use it with your Trezor hardware wallet, did you know that beta.mytrezor.com supports the use of Dash on Trezor also? Neither did I. And finally, in current opportunities, an extensive paper that was published anonymously a few months ago regarding potential incorporation of Tor and Tails into the masternode network for privacy and security is seeking new comments on an upgraded version of the paper. If you feel that you have valuable insight to offer in terms of network security of masternodes, there is a thread where you can contribute to the discussion of the paper. And that's it for Dash Detailed this week, my friends. I invite you to follow me on Twitter, as well as to shoot me an email at amanda@dash.org to subscribe to this weekly video series, meaning I'll send you an email with the video right to your inbox every week. Easy peasy. See you next Wednesday. Did you know that Dash's core team holds quarterly report calls that anybody can listen to? It's true, and it's legit. Check out the most recent one here.